There is a constant soothing mood in all points of view. And the only reason that isn't recognized is that we may try to control the flow of points of view. So it's impossible to recognize the soothing mood of awareness if we're trying to control the flow of points of view. Do you understand? That's all I have to say. See you later. And so you see, the points of view in and of themselves are the soothing mood. It's only when we try to regulate or control the flow of points of view that we feel we're out of the powerful current of awareness. And this is the importance of the practice of short moments many times. In short moments many times, it allows us to go beyond thinking about everything. A short moment of awareness is a short moment of natural perfection. It's a short moment of natural perfection that's instinctive. It's built in. It's engineered into every short moment. A short moment that is completely soothing. And so the entire flow of points of view is saturated in this mood of soothing energy. However, if we try to control the flow of points of view, then what we're stating is that there's something wrong with points of view. They're not naturally perfect. They're not a mood, a soothing mood of awareness. And so you see, very simple. And in short moments, at least then we give ourselves short moments when we're not attempting to control the points of view. But it isn't a short moment where we're trying to accumulate many short moments to get to a destination somewhere in the future. The short moment is the destination. It's the beginning, middle, and end of everything altogether. So you see, there isn't anything other than the appearance of the here and now and its simultaneous release. And it's like a line drawn in midair. The here and now is like a line drawn in midair. It isn't anything. A line drawn in midair cannot be indicated. It can't be measured. It can't be captured and examined or assessed. And such is the case with all points of view. And so, like you use the term existential despair, it just means being uptight or tense or anxious. Feeling really tense or anxious, in other words, not having that soothing mood no matter what appears, it just means that we're trying to control the flow of points of view. That we've decided some points of view are good and some points of view are bad. So somehow we have to control the whole flow of points of view. We have to regulate them. For example, say we have thoughts we don't like, then we try not to have those thoughts. Or maybe we can't even stop the thoughts and they're just like a tidal wave. We're having really negative thoughts, but we can't stop them. Or the same is true with emotions or sensations or other experiences. There's no way to stop the flow of points of view. It's natural. So when we try to stop the flow of points of view, then we get really uptight because we're doing something that can't be done. That's why we're uptight. There's no way to do it. And so it's like trying to do something with air, saying, oh, I'm going to take this part of space and put it over here, and that's going to make air better, space better. And so in short moments, we come to see what is the case. And it doesn't require that we change any points of view. So when we say in the Great Freedom Teaching that nothing need be changed, it simply means that we don't need to change the flow of points of view. When we don't change the flow of points of view, we open up to a powerful intelligence within ourselves that is completely hidden from view, as long as we're trying to control the flow of points of view. If we're trying to control the flow of points of view, then we are intellectually disabled. We have a disability, a learning disability, because we're trying to control the flow of points of view. And so we're locked into an intelligence that is based only on points of view. It's an intelligence that doesn't have any openness. It ignores what is basic to everything. It ignores the basic state that is present in all points of view. And when we simply take short moments and gain confidence in that until there's no need to take short moments anymore, then more and more we're really smart in a relaxed way. And how are we smarter? Well, then we can see all points of view without becoming involved in them. So all the points of reference, all the frames of reference, they're just appearances of this basic state. But the basic state is what is important in all of them. The labels aren't any kind of ultimate definition. In our own experience, what this comes down to is our thoughts, emotions, sensations, and other experiences. These are our points of view, what we call points of view. We just gather them all together in the term points of view. Why make it any more complicated? And then as we take a short moment of awareness, which is the view that includes all the points of view, then we see more and more that there's nothing to be done about the points of view. And then we see that the whole idea of a destination is just a point of view too. And the whole idea of a method to get to a destination is just a point of view. There's just complete openness and soothing energy right here in this moment of the here and now. And that's all there ever is. There's no moment of the here and now somewhere off in the future that you're going to get to when you have soothing energy. That's just more exhaustion. So you see, there are just so many points of view, and we all grow up with them. You know, what we should be doing, what we shouldn't be doing, how we should think, how we shouldn't think. Emotions we should have, other emotions we shouldn't have. Experiences we should have, other experiences we shouldn't have. Friends we should have, other friends we shouldn't have. And this is what I mean about trying to control or regulate the flow of points of view. What would it be like to just not regulate the flow of points of view? That's what we discover in a short moment of awareness. It's just like when, during the day, many of us are very intent on controlling our points of view. No one here, of course, but maybe you used to be. I don't know. I know I used to be. But, And so all day long, we're trying to regulate the control of points of view, and then we collapse in exhaustion at the end of the day. And then when we're going to sleep at night, I don't know how many of you have experienced this, but when we go to sleep at night, all the points of view that we've been trying to control, they settle down. And then we might have just a completely non-conceptual point of view where there aren't any of the ordinary points of view, and that feels so good. And then we might have all kinds of weird points of view, but we're really still awake. Even though there are these dreamlike points of view, we're still wide awake. But we don't need to control the flow of points of view. And in fact, we can't when we're in that state. We can't control the flow of points of view, even though we're vividly aware. And so this is what it means to have confidence and awareness. That no matter what the points of view are, we don't try to control them. So a good example of what's that like is this period when we're falling asleep, when the points of view are just all over the place. No matter what they are, we might see our mother dressed up as George Bush, or our lover dressed up as Osama bin Laden, or whatever it might be. But there's no need to try to change any of it. And you see, we become very expert at controlling the nature of our perceptions, or trying to. And when we take short moments, we start to see the naturalness of our points of view. We never know what's going to come next. And that's why it's important to just relax, because some of it might be a little unexpected, if you know what I mean. If we've been trying to be politically correct in all our thoughts, emotions, sensations, and experiences, then we might notice that we have very politically incorrect points of view. And so we've been trying to establish diversity and openness and acceptance of everyone by trying to control our points of view. However, we can only find that openness in awareness. We can't find it in trying to control our points of view. So in short moments when we stop trying to regulate our points of view, we might notice all kinds of points of view that come up. All these politically correct points of view we've been trying to have. Bursting upon the scene may be the full cornucopia of our points of view. The politically correct and the politically incorrect. But no need to worry about that. Short moments. Those short moments of complete openness are what situate us in true openness to everyone, in true connection with everyone, true intimacy with everyone. And it all starts with being completely open to our own points of view. How many of you have been surprised by some of your points of view once you start resting as awareness? We're not as nice as we thought we were, are we? Initially, there may not be any soothing energy. You may not experience it as soothing energy. And initially, it may be that nothing special happens in terms of your definition of special, or there may be. It's different for different people. And naturally, there are many things that have been labeled, like suffering or different kinds of physical pains and the level of suffering in those, feeling peaceful or not feeling peaceful. However, by allowing all of this just to be as it is, more and more it's absorbed into the ground of complete soothing energy, where it is not, and soothing energy is not a thing. It's a mood of hyper equanimity, regardless of what is going on. So one could feel absolutely perfect in perfect health, perfect mental health, perfect physical health, or could feel perfectly unhealthy mentally and physically, and there would still be the pervasion of soothing energy. And so you see, this is what, in short moments, we begin to really have an instinctive recognition of this that is beyond all thought, beyond all study. So if it isn't special for you initially, don't worry about it. It's in uncontrived short moments that there, more and more there's just complete absorption in this uniflow of equanimity, a uniflow of what you could call soothing energy. You don't have to call it anything. You can say short moments of awareness, short moments of serenity, short moments of clarity, short moments of whatever it is. Just know that in those short moments, the short moments will become redundant. They'll become automatic. That means that there'll come a point where no short moments need to be taken. It'll just be obvious every moment, night and day. And so I know in your work you see many people who are suffering. That's part of your work. And there are many ideas about suffering and its compelling nature. There are many very limited ideas about that. And no matter what kind of mental trickery we might employ, like positive affirmations or many of these other programs of self-improvement, when we get sick, when we get really sick, and or when we're dying, all of that mental trickery falls apart. We're not able to use it anymore because our ability to use our cognitive processes breaks down completely. So then, we want to be absolutely sure that during our lifetime we've connected with what is fundamental, what is completely at the basis of both good feeling and feeling terrible, feeling awful, being totally out of control, so to speak. And so, in the perceptions of death, the points of view that appear in death, there's no way to employ any of these programs of self-improvement. And so, the mini-death is right here. The mini-death is this here and now, this moment of the here and now in which there's no need to try to control anything. And you don't have to worry about any point of view, no matter what the point of view is that you've learned. If you've learned that you're in control, if you've learned that you're out of control, if you've learned that you have an ego, if you've learned that you don't have an ego, if you've learned that you have a personality type, if you've learned that you don't have a personality type, all of these are points of view appearing in awareness. They're not things. There isn't a you who is over and against awareness. The you is a point of view appearing in awareness. It isn't a thing. There's only awareness and its points of view. So that is the fundamental basis that we reduce ourselves to in our own experience. Because we're so accustomed to thinking about things, to thinking about all our points of view, we think intelligence and problem solving are limited to points of view. However, we can never solve our unsolvable problems without freedom from our points of view. They're completely different kinds of intelligence. One is an intelligence based on points of view. The other is a wide open intelligence that understands the nature of all points of view. Thus, it has an intelligence that subsumes all other forms of intelligence. All other forms of intelligence are assimilated to that primary intelligence. And that's what we really need to solve our unsolvable problems, whether it's our unsolvable problems as an individual or as a human culture. We need that kind of intelligence. It's just the biggest health epidemic is mental and emotional instability. But that appears nowhere on the World Health Organization chart of the of the worst health epidemics. However, if we look around, we see that is within ourselves. That's the biggest health epidemic, and within all of human culture, it's the greatest health epidemic there is. And so you see, our current intelligence as human culture isn't able to solve that problem. We've never been able to arrive at mental and emotional stability. And that's a birthright of every human being. And so, we have to go beyond the type of intelligence that says that we can't have mental and emotional stability, or that we have to constantly be battling to try to get it by rearranging our points of view. It's constantly frustrating to try to arrange our points of view so that we feel good. It's mental illness. It really is. And so, today there are many people who are just fed up. Many people who are keen observers of the way that things are, who just say, well, none of this works. Why continue doing it? When you've tried just about every self-improvement program there is that you can find on the internet, and you still don't feel better in a permanent way, then many people today are just saying, well, I'm no more self-improvement programs. What is there that is fundamental to who I am that doesn't involve any self-improvement, that's already naturally perfect, that isn't some kind of destination far off in the future to get to? And so that's why all of you are here. And that openness to what is free of all these points of view that have never worked to improve life anyway, especially when it comes to mental and emotional stability. Well, what can really bring about that mental and emotional stability is absolutely important. We bring about a balanced view within ourselves, a totally balanced view, where we can see that all our points of view, no matter what they are, don't need to be changed. They don't need to be changed. They don't need to be changed in any way. As much as that goes against everything we've ever learned, it's the way it is. Not only do they not need to be changed, but there's no way to change them. There's absolutely no way to change them. They're the spontaneous flow of the unified field. They're a uniflow of dynamic energy within a unified field. They've never been locked up anywhere. And so if we're going against that natural flow, that's the only reason we feel uptight. Short moments. When we believe we can control and regulate all the points of view, then life gets very complicated because we're always looking for a way to figure out the points of view. We have to assess them, analyze them, break them apart and see what they're made of, and understand the behavior and properties of every single point of view. And this drives us mad, even though we might look sane. It's more like The Walking Dead. And so when we start to relax, then we start to see that, wow, I never needed to do any of this. And so then, if we're lucky, we can start laughing a little bit, at least. When we're trying to control and regulate our points of view, then we're afraid to live. We're completely afraid to live. Not only is death taboo, but life is taboo as well. And so we're trapped. Talk about existential despair. Yikes. The ease of what is right here can never be undone. It can never be undone. Everyone and everything is already naturally perfect, regardless of its label. So regardless of the description, everything is naturally perfect. That becomes obvious in short moments.